The night was crisp, stars glinting like Peter's hopes as he drove his father, Thomas, to meet his fiancée's parents. For Peter, this dinner was a milestone, a step toward his wedding to Emily, the woman who'd captured his heart at university. Thomas, a soft-spoken janitor with calloused hands and a warm smile, shared his son's excitement. "They're good folks, Dad," Peter said, glancing at him. "Maybe a bit caught up in appearances, but they mean well." Thomas nodded, his eyes crinkling. "As long as you and Emily are happy, that's enough for me." Emily adored Thomas for his kindness and simplicity, traits her parents, successful but status-conscious, lacked. They weren't wealthy, but their comfortable life fueled their social pretensions. Eager to meet their future son-in-law's father, they expected someone of their caliber, not a man who swept university halls. The dinner began warmly, with clinking glasses and polite questions. But when Emily's father, Richard, asked, "So, Thomas, what do you do?" the air shifted. "I'm a janitor at the university," Thomas replied, his voice steady with pride. "Been there 20 years. It's honest work and I like it." Silence fell. Richard's smile tightened. His wife, Margaret, raised an eyebrow. "How fulfilling," she said, her tone dripping with condescension. Emily, sensing the tension, tried to steer the conversation to wedding plans, but her parents pressed on. "It's just, we hope for someone with a bit more ambition for our daughter," Richard said, masking his disdain with a chuckle. Thomas's jaw tightened, but he held his composure. "Peter's got a bright future. He and Emily will be just fine." Peter, cheeks flushing, intervened. "We love each other. That's what matters." Margaret waved a hand. "Of course, dear. We're just protective." The evening unraveled. Thomas felt like an intruder, his presence a blemish on the polished veneer of Emily's family. The dinner ended early, and father and son drove home in heavy silence. "I'm sorry, Dad," Peter finally said. They were out of line. Thomas managed a sad smile. "You're marrying Emily, not them. That's what counts." Raised alone by Thomas after his wife died in childbirth, Peter had grown up with love, if not luxury. Thomas's janitorial wages funded Peter's scholarship to a prestigious university, where he met Emily. Unlike her parents, she valued heart over wealth, dreaming of a simple life with Peter. When they set their wedding date, Thomas was overjoyed, never imagining the dinner would leave him questioning his worth. In the weeks that followed, Thomas replayed Margaret's words and Richard's smirk. They'd even asked, half joking, "What'll you bring to the wedding, Thomas?" A mop? Their implication stung. A janitor could offer nothing of value. Sleepless Thomas wondered how to honor his son's marriage. "I may not have money," he murmured, staring at an old painting in his bedroom. "But I've got something worth giving." The painting, a serene forest scene, had hung in his home for years, passed down from his grandparents. It was no masterpiece, just a family heirloom. But to Thomas, it held memories of his childhood, of stories told by flickering lamplight. An idea formed. "It's not much," he thought, "but it's us." The wedding day arrived, meant to be intimate, as Peter and Emily wanted. But when they reached the venue, they found a lavish spectacle: crystal chandeliers, towering floral displays. Emily's parents had overridden their plans, hiring planners to craft a wedding fit for royalty. Emily's eyes welled with frustration. "This was our day," she said, voice trembling. Peter squeezed her hand. "It's still ours. Let's focus on us." Thomas arrived in a borrowed suit, awestruck by the decorations. Peter must be thrilled, he thought, unaware of the couple's dismay. His joy dimmed when Margaret greeted him with a barbed smile. "Look at this, Thomas. We spared no expense. I hope you brought something special for the couple." Laughter rippled among their guests, strangers Emily hadn't invited. Thomas's cheeks burned, but he stood tall. "It's a beautiful day for them. My gift will come later, something personal." His grace silenced the snickers, making Margaret shift uncomfortably. The ceremony was heartfelt, despite the extravagance. During the reception, Richard raised a glass, his toast laced with mockery. To the couple, and to Thomas, whose special gift we're all dying to see. Peter's jaw clenched, but Emily spoke first. "We love Thomas like family. His presence is gift enough." Thomas excused himself briefly, returning with a large, wrapped package. Curious eyes followed as he handed it to Peter and Emily. "This is for you," he said softly. "It's been in our family a long time. I hope it means as much to you as it does to me." They unwrapped it, revealing the forest painting, its muted greens and golds glowing under the venue's lights. Peter's breath caught. "Dad, this is the one from your room. I loved it as a kid." He traced the signature. H. Dequa. Emily froze. "Thomas, is this Henry Dequa?" She'd studied art history. She knew the name, a lesser-known French painter whose works, though rare, fetched thousands. "It looks like his style." Thomas blinked, puzzled. "My grandparents said it was painted by a relative. Never thought it was anything special." Margaret and Richard leaned closer, their smugness evaporating. "A relative?" Richard stammered. "You mean this has been in your family?" Thomas nodded. "It's all I've got from them. Wanted Peter to have it." Emily hugged him tightly. "It's perfect." Peter's eyes glistened. "Dad, this is more than enough." The guests buzzed, and an art enthusiast among them confirmed the painting's authenticity later that evening. Appraised at $40,000, it wasn't a lost masterpiece, but its historical and sentimental value made it priceless to the couple. Richard and Margaret, chastened, approached Thomas. "We misjudged you," Margaret said, her voice strained. "We're sorry." Thomas smiled faintly. "No harm done. I'm just happy for my son." In the months that followed, Peter and Emily researched the painting, learning Henry Dequa was indeed a distant ancestor. The discovery brought a modest inheritance, a few other works, long forgotten, sold for enough to secure their future. Yet Thomas kept his janitorial job, finding purpose in its rhythm. "Work's who I am," he told Peter. Emily's parents humbled, softened toward Thomas, though he remained politely distant, his focus on family. He grew close to Emily, treating her like a daughter, and later doted on their children, sharing stories of the painting and its journey through generations. Each tale carried a quiet lesson. Value lies in love, not wealth, in integrity, not status.